Hello everyone and welcome back to Comics World Order, and today we're looking into James Howlett, aka Logan, or aka the Wolverine, one of the most famous Marvel superheroes on the planet and also one of the most famous X-Men members of all time. Now, as you can tell, usually Wolverine usually wears a blue and yellow costume or a brown and yellow costume, but today we actually have him in his black and silver costume, which he wears in his X-Force team. Now, you'll see the first time you see this outfit is in X-Force Volume 4, Issue Number 1, which was released back in 2008. Now, back in 2008, there was a storyline that involved Cyclops and Wolverine, and they agreed that the X-Men needed something a little bit more extra help with certain villains or enemies that the X-Men have problems dealing with, and to use certain methods that the X-Men would normally use. So Wolverine with Warpath, X-23, Deadpool, sometimes Domino, Psylocke, Wolfbane, and Archangel would go on missions and deal some serious punishment to any enemies of the X-Men or any enemies of mutant kind. So let's look into this action figure. Now, when this figure first came out, I was happy and I was disappointed. Now, the reason why I was disappointed is because if you're going to release a Wolverine figure, normally you would release him in his yellow and blue costume because it's his iconic costume. But then when I actually saw this one, I thought, you know what? It's Wolverine. It doesn't matter what he wears, and I think everyone can actually agree with me. Wolverine's Wolverine. You know, you just got to have him. Now, what do I like about this costume? Well, the attention to detail on the color and on the body mold is really good. It's actually well done. There was only one problem, one or two problems that I actually have with the body mold, but I'm going to go there just a little bit later. Now, the articulation is actually pretty good. Pretty much like all the other Marvel figures. He moves his arms very well. That's it. There we go. Also, got some good leg movement here. La 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 la. Dude, you know what? I've always wondered if Wolverine can dance. Also, one of the best features about this character is that we got the claws here. Um, I like the fact that the claws get to stay out. That's the only thing which I like about them. But I've got one negative thing about the claws. Also, the abdomen can move as well, like all the other characters which we have seen so far, like Iron Man, Spider Man, and Silver Surfer. The top part of his abdomen can move. Now, going and also great detail on his back, showing off the muscles. Great detail on the arms as well. The hands can move as well, especially when he needs to hold weapons. I'll be going over the accessories in one moment. Now, negative side. There's not really much to actually say about this one negatively. I've only got a few concerns. One is the head; it doesn't move. So try as I might, he doesn't move. So I don't know whether if that's just if it's just my one, but if there's anyone out there who actually has this version of Wolverine, if the head does move, great for you guys. Mine doesn't want to move. Also, I was a bit disappointed. Now, when you look at him like this, he looks awesome. Great, he's been drinking again. When you look at him from the back, great detail, awesome as well. But then when you turn him to the side, there, his neck. Now, I'm no doctor or anything, but I don't think the neck is supposed to be that long. But of course, I guess that's the only way they could do his do his toy design. But there are two other characters that have actually got that same neck mold, Daredevil and Bullseye. But we'll be going over them another day. Uh, of course, the plus side is if you have Wolverine standing if you're looking at him from the front or looking from the back, you don't really notice, and it doesn't really affect him in any way. But when you put him to the side, it just looks very odd to see that neck, which is really long. Another disadvantage, or not disadvantage, another negative thing about it is with the claws, they're a bit floppy. Well, on my one, they are this kind of floppy and stiff at the same time. I was actually kind of hoping that they would just stay like locked in place. If anyone actually ever had uh, the Wolverine Origins toy line, his claws are actually locked in place, and later versions of Wolverine they actually do the same thing as well. Now, accessories. It comes with two accessories. It comes with one machine gun with a little grenade launcher at the front. Oh, sorry, just underneath. Now, this gun is actually quite common in the Marvel Universe Toyline series. Most of the characters, such as Black Widow, Winter Soldier, Punisher, and even Commander Steve Rogers, all have this gun. Now, good thing about his hand mold is that he can hold this gun into any hand. And his other accessory is, now any die-hard Wolverine fan will know what this sword is. Now I'm going to try and pronounce it, but sometimes my pronunciation is a little bit terrible. It's called the Mura Amasa sword. If I've actually pronounced that wrong, I do apologize. Now this samurai weapon was I can't remember which issue it was first seen, but I do remember reading the Wolverine Origins series. You actually get to see the sword and how it's made. And this sword, legend has it, is that this is the sword that contains Wolverine's soul, and it's the only weapon that can actually kill Wolverine or any mutant that has a healing factor. Now, personal opinion overall, I would give this action figure 8.5 to 9 because it's Wolverine, man. You can't say anything bad about Wolverine. Like I said, the only disappointing thing about this figure is just I just find the neck, the head not turning, doesn't actually bother me that much. But I kind of wish that the claws were a bit more like locked into place. But I'm actually pleased that they didn't have them retract going into his arm and coming out because I had action figures back in the 90s of Wolverine and they had action figures where his claws come in and out. Sometimes they didn't come in, sometimes they didn't stay in, or if you had the blue and yellow Wolverine, the claws were bent at the end, which I'm thinking, why would you do that? Because Wolverine doesn't have bent claws. Anyway, that's my review on X Force Wolverine. Hope you enjoyed, and I look forward to bringing the next review to you guys. So